on the channel. It's February 28th, 2025, and we got a huge day of WWE Mattel reveals.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with another WWE Revealed video, as today, February 28th, 2025, to put yourself in that headspace whenever you're watching this. We did get a huge announcement on the forums over at Mattel Creations, and they solicited a lot of stuff. I was blown away by this news, in all honesty here. Coming Friday afternoon, where if you guys know the business cycle and kind of the news cycle, kind of a dead time to drop things because people are going into their weekend. Usually you give a lot of bad news on a Friday afternoon and it kind of gets swept under the rug. You have a couple of days on the weekend to settle, and then Monday you go about your way. I guess not with Mattel. They said, hey, let's throw all these reveals out there on February 28th, which is even more shocking that they did it so late on a Friday. But the biggest shock was, to me, we're just days away from the Mattel Reveal Day over there at Mattel Creations, where each of the brands goes through for about 20 minutes each and solicits their wares, promotes their wares. We saw it last year. But apparently none of this stuff will be discussed in there unless that's all they're going to do. They're going to repeat. I wouldn't think so. But they dumped a ton of news on us here today. Now, normally I'd kind of put this in the toy news video tomorrow. Cheap plug for that. Make sure you subscribe. However, that is already shaping up to be, and I'm going to film that here shortly as well, possibly the biggest toy news video we have ever done. We got Todd McFarlane on the couch today as usual. And Todd, you know we're going to be talking a lot about you and what's going on over there. So stay tuned to that tomorrow. A lot of wrestling news in that video as well. But we're just going to cover the Mattel Revealed here from today. And once again, circling back, Mattel Revealed on the 6th of March. What are they going to talk about? Well, my gut tells me, obviously, they're going to talk about the Cage-O-Mania, the crowdfunding cages, all those different cages. If I had my business hat on, I would say they're going to either announce the winner, or more, what I would do is announce the two winners, the top two vote getters. They asked everybody to vote for two things. Put those two up there, and then we can vote again till about WrestleMania time frame, and that's when they'll choose the winner. That's what I would do if I'm them, but I'm sure they will talk about that on Mattel Revealed. Have to imagine the Coliseum collection, the next ones will be announced at that. They did that last year. Makes sense to do that again because we're not talking any Coliseum collection in this video here, so I would think they'll do that. We'll also probably get that Cody Rhodes WrestleMania Ultimate announced, probably as a Mattel Creations exclusive. And then they've been hitting at like the Jey Uso and Braun Breaker as well, so maybe something more on them. But I almost feel like my gut tells me the real Revealed is today with everything we saw here. But I'm sure they'll have a surprise or two for us on the 6th, so we'll have to stay tuned to that. So much more on that on the channel next week, I guess. But let's dive into the reveals we saw here today. We're just gonna, as they say, how do you eat an elephant? You do it one bite at a time. And it takes some time, doesn't it, Todd? We've all been there. We've all been there. But I usually start at the trunk on the elephant. I don't know where you start. Ooh, the other end? Dangerous. Dangerous, man. Wild man, Todd McFarlane. But let's dive into it. We're going to dive into the WWE Superstars, one of my favorite lines going today, and probably one of your guys' favorites as well. Also, the most frustrating line of all time, it does feel like, in a lot of days. But we did see the Iron Sheik, and I like the homage. Oh, here we go. Homage. Don't start, Todd McFarlane. The homage to the Iron Sheik LJN is in this one. So you can take the shorts off if you want to, but a bit of a 2-in-1 Iron Sheik. And that's a guy that definitely feels like he belongs in the Superstars line. We, of course, saw the Great Muta ×2. We talked about those last week. Don't need to run those down, but very excited for Great Muta. A lot of people are saying, Kyle, you say you're getting 6, you really need 8. And you know what? They might be right. I might need 8 of these Great Mutas. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned to the channel. We did see Diesel, Big Daddy Cool coming in here to the Superstars line. I guess that does work as well. And then one I'm shocked it took this long for, it is Zeus, really completing the Zeus, running the gauntlet of Zeus. We got the Elite, we got the Ultimate, we got the Retro, we get the Superstars. I think our Zeus days are done now after that one. We'll see what happens there, but we do have Zeus coming to the Superstars line. So a few more Superstars coming our way very soon. Probably the coolest set in a long time, a themed set, which we don't get a lot of themed sets. Elite Series 118. We got Jacob Fatu. That is going to be an all-timer. Have to imagine the secondary market is going to explode on that one. Jacob Fatu, Elite 118, coming first time in the line. Definitely not going to be last time in the line. We also saw Tama Tonga on there, first time in the line once again. Maybe last time, probably not though. Tonga Loa in the set as well, keeping it bloodline. And Tonga Loa, first time in the line, last time. We'll see what ends up happening there. And then we do get Solo Sikoa, but we get more of the later years, or recent years, I guess, more recent Solo. He's got the jacket. He's looking dapper as ever. Dapper as ever. That is a pretty cool one, and part of that. And then really bloodline related, really, when you do the math. Of course, it is some tough math, but you can do the math. We do got Nia Jax in here, and she's ×2, and it does celebrate her big Queen of the Ring at Saudi Arabia last year. So a pretty cool set, all things considered. I like a theme set like this. I wish they would do more of these from time to time. Not all the time, but maybe once a year. I just think it is a really fun idea to build out a team right away. I just imagine myself as a little kid going in there like, oh my gosh, I get the whole Bloodline team, the new Bloodline team, right in one pass. I think that's something fun about that. So Elite 118 coming in hot. God, I think that's going to be a popular set. We did go to the Ultimate line, and Ultimates, I've talked about it for years. It just feels like the specialness is worn off on the Ultimates. We do got Jey Uso again. We've had a lot of Jey Uso Ultimates. Is this his third one in less than a year? So it just doesn't feel quite as special. It just feels like another figure. It's just ultimate articulation with a higher price point, of course. But we do get Jey Uso once again. We also got Drew McIntyre, a guy I do like and I do think is an amazing star. He's just not very toyetic, unfortunately. And the most toyetic thing he comes with is a sword, but doesn't come with a sword in this one here. And I'm sure it's because he didn't wear it during this outfit here. But it really feels like something you might as well just throw in. It's the ultimate Drew McIntyre. Let's give him all of his belts, all of his accessories, but we understand how the business works as well. So we got Drew McIntyre for the first time in the Ultimate line, and then keeping it Uso crazy with Jimmy Uso once again in the Ultimate line. So another Jimmy Uso. Are we Uso'd out yet? We've had quite a few Uso figures over the last year. I think 200, 300? I don't know about 300. You're exaggerating. I think it's 200. But we did have a lot of Usos this year, and we're getting them again in the Ultimate line. We also saw Ultimate Stone Cold Steve Austin back. It's been a while since we have an Ultimate, and it feels like we need more Ultimates and maybe more Elites of heyday Stone Cold, at least from where I sit. And you guys know right here, beautiful seating accommodations, of course. But we do have that coming to Walmart in the Monday Night Wars line. So part of the Monday Night Wars, handcuff Steve Austin once again. So we do got Stone Cold coming in the Ultimate one right there. And then speaking of Walmart, who was speaking? Oh, I was. I guess that's right. Walmart does have their next box set coming on, and I like the idea of this one. I just don't see this one selling that hot, especially if it's going to be $74.99 or whatever it's going to be. It is the Awesome Truth box. We get a very cool modern day Triple H. It's been a while since we've had one of those. Great for customizers with that brown suit going on. So that is cool for what it is. We got Miz, we got R-Truth. We haven't had a Miz in quite some time. R-Truth we just recently got, but you got Miz, R-Truth. But then you do get the table and you do get the new tag team titles. I believe first time in the line, if I'm not mistaken. So is there enough meat on the bone for $74.99 if that's what this indeed does cost? I think it's going to be a very, very tough sell. And I can see people in the comments right now. I'm waiting for the clearance. I'm going to buy it at $15. And you know what? You got to vote with your wallet at the end of the day. We know how that goes. So an interesting one is these box sets kind of morph and transition. Are they getting away from the family packs over there at Walmart, moving on to more current stuff? I don't know, because we have seen the other ones not sell the greatest. We can all admit that, I think, especially when they went to clearance. It'll be interesting to see where this one goes. But man, I would have loved to seen an Orton family pack, a Funk's family pack, something like that. But maybe that's more better suited for Mattel Creations or something. I don't know. But we do got the Awesome Truth coming around the corner. Then it's time for Fan Takeover. And we know this is supposedly John Cena's last year in wrestling. And I've been talking about it for a while. Just you wait. It's going to be the year of CM Punk. It's going to be the year of John Cena figures. And it is beginning with John Cena. Fan Takeover Ultimate Edition. Patrick Ewing Edition. Oh, shout out to Patrick Ewing. Remember that episode when he was on Webster back in the day, Patrick Ewing? Oh, man, that was 80s gold for little 5-year-old Kyle. Look at Webster and Patrick Ewing. They could be twins. They could be twins, those two. Same height. But Patrick Ewing, John Cena, I always call it. We got it back in the Jakks days, too. It was a favorite of mine as well. John Cena rolls on. Be ready for more in this very video as well. How about the next one? Collector's Edition John Cena. John Cena. Yes, John Cena. No, John Cena. His Mania entrance. And this looks to be one of those like Collector's Edition we used to get at Walmart and Target back in the day. It looks like it's shipping with Elite 118, but is it going to be in all cases? Is it going to be in some? Is it going to be online only, retailer exclusive? Not exactly sure. It's like that translucent Cena we saw a month ago. Where exactly is that one going? And are we seeing a pattern here where this year we're going to see a different Cena as a store exclusive in every wave? I kind of hope not, because that means we got to track those things down. It's not always easy to track these things down. I do hope if they do this, they do it like that Undertaker from a couple years ago, and they shipped like straight cases of that Undertaker. Or maybe he was on shippers. It wasn't the hardest thing to get. So I hope these Cenas are in the same kind of thing. Not super, super hard to get. But that's the next John Cena. I think we got one more to talk about. We're going to talk about it right now. We're going back to the Vault. Of course, ringside collectible exclusive Vaults. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows, depending who you talk to on the Vault series. Though we do got the prototype John Cena, new and improved from the old Toys R Us exclusive back in the day. 2 heads. Pick your own John Cena head adventure, of course. We do get the Boogeyman, and I do like they're re-releasing his original figure instead of the more recent ones. I can get behind that. Good friend of the channel, of course, Swoggle up there, the mayor of Oshkosh, and it's crazy. I should hit him up. I'm going to be dangerously close to Oshkosh next week. I should see if Swoggle's hanging around. Maybe we can go to Freak Toys together. Who knows what'll happen there? But I will be up in Swoggle country. But talking Swoggle, we're getting the re-release of that DX version of Swoggle from back in the day. It is amazing how much hate I've got in my room tours over the years because I have that Swoggle on my DX shelf, and people get so worked up about Swoggle being in DX. You know, it's just action figures, man. It's just action figures. Cool down. But I've had a lot of complaints about that. So it's wild what people complain about from time to time. But a lot of people miss that one. It is fairly pricey on the aftermarket. Definitely worth a pickup if you missed it back in the day. And then rounding out the Vault series, we got John Cone ×2. He is the Chase version, much like Yokozuna in the last one. I got a lot of mixed emotions on this. Now, I do like the SmackDown repaint there. I like what they're doing there. But honestly, I think they should have just released the SmackDown one and that is it. I don't like the precedent right here of a Build-A-Figure getting released in a regular line like this. And if they're going to do that, let's wait 5-10 years down the line to do that. It is too soon. That Cone wasn't that long ago. But it makes people that bought those figures just for the Build-A-Figure, it kind of slaps them in the face a little bit if you ask me. So you got to put more distance behind that, or just release him here in the blue. Now, it is a referee, so I give a little bit more pass than I would a traditional figure because you could customize this very easily. Different head on here, you do got a different referee. So that is something easy to do. Doesn't help you if you're a mint-on card collector, but at the same time, he was a Build-A-Figure in the prior life, so you couldn't have had him in on card, so I guess now you can have him in on card. So it works, but it doesn't work for me, brother. That's what I'm going to say at the end of the day. So John Cone ×2 coming in hot. Now we're diving over to the main event series. We're going to the main event Superstars box set. Sounds like a Smith's exclusive, and its main event figures basically getting re-released in a box set form. We've seen them before. This time, Judgment Day. We do got Dominic Mysterio. We do got Damian Priest, and we do got Rhea Ripley. So a little Judgment Day Happier Times 3-pack, we'll call it there. Main event 156, and you know me, I dabble in the main event. Sometimes I buy the whole line, sometimes I buy one, sometimes I buy none. This one I'm going to buy a few. Now, The Rock is interesting. I like this cow print here. I'm a sucker for cow print. Way back in the day, I think I was 16 years old, I had a Jeep Wrangler. I still have a Jeep Wrangler, but it's a different one. And it was a black Jeep Wrangler. And I had cow print seat covers I got on that thing. Let me tell you, you knew when Kyle was coming to town with those cow print. People loved him. They hated him. There was nobody in between, that's for sure. And I think that's how they are with Rock's vest. And I feel like I got to get this one just because of the obnoxious cow print and the memory of Jeeps gone by over the years. So we do have that coming. Finn Balor, that's going to be an easy pass for me. Don't really need that Finn. Triple H, a throwback Triple H. Not exactly sure what this represents, but it is a throwback Triple H. Joaquin Wilde, I wanted to say first time in the line, but he had one way back in the day when he was in NXT, but this is his first wrestling one as far as main event style. He did come in that LWO box set last summer, I guess it was as well. So he's had now, 3 or 4 figures if you count the Chase as a separate figure. So Joaquin Wilde about ready to do a Kyle Peterson top 5. Getting dangerously close. Maybe not. Maybe not. And then we got Chelsea Green. I'll pick up both of those as well. 2 different versions, and I like that they really made them different, especially in the hair color and stuff. So Chelsea Green coming back in action. Even some Ghostbusters gear right there, part of 156. Have to imagine going to be very hard to get those female ones. They're always selling out really fast, as we do know. So we got that main event 156. Going to the Showdown Series 21, already 21 series right there. We do got R-Truth coming back. It's been a long time since he's had a main event style figure or basic style figure. He is going to be with Dominic Mysterio, so we'll have those two. A flashback to the New Day, Once Upon a Time, Happier Times. And then we got Roman Reigns and LA Knight, the 2-pack of the greatest match of all time. Well, maybe not, but we do have that one coming. And then we close it off. A lot revealed here today, as I did say, with Roman Reigns and Razor Ramon in the Greatest Hits Ultimate line. At first, I was like, oh, I don't need these. Then I remembered, wait a minute, this Razor Ramon is different than the prior two Ultimates we got in the past. This matches up more with that Target box set that we got in the Elite line a year and a half, 2 years ago. What is time once again? So it is that same Razor Ramon, just in green this time. So just enough to make me pick that one up. And then the Roman, remember when that Roman Ultimate came out, there was, Mattel said something, their head sculpt that they really wanted to use wasn't ready. Now it's ready, so it's basically that same figure with a new head sculpt mixed in there. Maybe enough meat on the bone for that one, because that is a very good Roman head. We just recently unboxed it on the channel, part of the Elite SummerSlam line. We'll see what happens there, but those greatest hit ones are always controversial, always dangerous in this house, that's for sure. But it looks like I'm probably going to pick up both of those. But man, oh man, a lot of stuff coming down. And once again, I'm really shocked that just 6 days away from Revealed, and then about a month plus away from, of course, WrestleMania, where they do tons of reveals, that we got all this stuff announced. So it's going to be wild. I think Revealed, we're only going to get kind of what we talked about, maybe 1 or 2 more things tops. WrestleMania should be a lot of stuff. That'll be the roadmap, basically, I guess, through summertime. Who knows? Maybe into end of fall. Could be end of the year. And then you go to San Diego Comic-Con in July. That's going to be, I guess, more towards the very end of the year into next year. So train keeps rolling on and on, of course, as we know. And Mattel does not stop. They see a cash cow here with WWE, and they're cashing out every bit they can out of these ones. Very difficult for our wallet, but you got to be choosy. You got to pick what you like and not what you don't like. I guess vote with your wallet, as we always do say. But a lot revealed here today. Be interested to hear what you're excited for. Personally, I really like the idea of 118. I think that's going to be a very fun set. First time line characters getting a faction all at once. I just think there's something very cool about that. Always excited about the Superstars figures. The Ultimates, a little hit and miss for me. Interested to see that collector's edition John Cena. The Vault, a little hit and miss, but, you know, we'll give it its final judgment when we get him here at the table, of course. But once again, interested to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, nearing into 50,000. 50,000 subscribers is a heck of a lot. I appreciate all you guys, but once we get there, we got some serious giveaways, and we got a big special video at the end of the month here of March, so stay tuned to that, of course. So make sure you subscribe. Check out my other YouTube channel as well. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget Patreon for early access to the videos from both channels. Pro Wrestling Tees, of course. Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and of course now on TikTok. So for some Mattel reveals, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
We're going to the end of the line.